Hi, I'm DJ the Money Coach. Don't touch that dial. You want to become financially independent? You want to have consumer debt freedom? You want to have passive income, learn how to build a business, acquire real estate, and achieve the lifestyle you deserve in 2021? Well, hit that link below right now. We've worked with over 20,000 people in the past 2 decades, helping them become consumer debt free, increase their credit scores by 30 to 60 points in 30 days or less, and help them acquire businesses through real estate, taxes, and a network of experts just like me. So you'll get a complete 3-hour, 18-module course called Family Finance 101 that'll teach you A to Z how to become consumer debt free, credit worthy, and it put you in position to become a certified entrepreneur. We'll also give you a complimentary consultation with me that's a $500 value. Why would you want to do that? Because I have already achieved that, and I can help you achieve your American dream in 2021. Hit the link below, get the free webinar and the complimentary consultation, and I'll see you soon and wish you a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money and peace of mind. Come join us.
Toledo Organic Tequila is so crisp, so incredibly smooth. It's simply in a category by itself. This is luxury. Life tastes better naturally, so should your tequila. This is Toledo. Enjoy responsibly. Visit ToledoTequila.com to get your bottle of Toledo Organic Tequila. Get a 10% discount on DJ the Money Coach by entering promo code MONEY at checkout. Again, that's ToledoTequila.com. Promo code MONEY to get 10% off your Toledo purchase. Now, let's start the show.
All right. Good evening and welcome to another episode of Nick's Knowledge and Notions in Cube Science series, brought to you by the 7 Spheres of Money. Thank you for joining us. And before we get started, make sure you like this video, share it, and subscribe to the 7 Spheres of Money on YouTube. And yes, as you saw on that ad, just a second ago for Toledo Tequila, this show is sponsored by Toledo Organic Tequila. So make sure you go ahead and purchase your bottle by visiting shoptoledotequila.com and enter in promo code MONEY to get 10% off. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the show. It's we're officially starting Memorial Day weekend. DJ the Money Coach has had an exciting week with a lot of amazing projects going on that we'll tell you a little bit about, including last week as well. And let's go ahead and get into it. We're also going to talk about the importance of relationships and the importance of integrity in having successful relationships. So we're going to touch on all of that tonight. It's going to be a nice conversation. So sit back, relax, unwind. Get your, if you have your beverage, go ahead and get your beverage. I got mine right here. As you can see, I got my Toledo bottles. It's almost time for me to order another one, but I got enough to last me for the weekend. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. Yeah. So DJ, man, what's going on? What's the good word, my brother?
Man, the good word is the power of networking. I want you to write this down, boys and girls, guys and gals. Networking, NETWORKING, and most importantly, relationships with integrity. So networking, relationships with integrity are the winning words for today. And you're going to get a full 180-degree evolution on why that's so powerful to this one word. I want you to put this word up on the screen, Nick, and that is STEAM. Put that word up there. because here's what we have been bamboozled with, that we're taught from the other person's lens that you gotta grab yourself up from the bootstraps, work hard, be super smart, and then you'll live the American dream. So you need to know STEAM, science, technology, entrepreneurship, and the most important two letters, access to mentorship. Because I'm about to show you the power of STEAM in our community, what they don't tell you in the other community. They utilize STEAM, and that's why they are making millions and billions of dollars. It ain't because they're rocket scientists. It ain't because they're mad geniuses in finance and coding and all that. It's because they have access, mentorship. And the earlier you get it, the better you get. And that's where sports come in. Because to be a high-level achiever in sports with the God-given talent, you got to have access to the best coaches, the best resources, the best equipment, the best game plans. And the earlier you get access to that, the faster you're going to succeed in life. And you could be the smartest person on the planet, but if you don't have STEAM, science, technology, entrepreneurship, access, and mentorship, it's going to be hard for you to get to the next level. It ain't impossible, but this deck is stacked against you. So when you're wondering why, the young, PWI kid, guy or girl who don't know much, got the, six-figure job, $3-4 million, assets, and they don't know jack, you know what they do? They know STEAM. Science, technology, entrepreneurship, access to mentorship. And what do I mean by that? Well, real simple. Like I say, we're not new to this game. We've been in this game for 20 years. And if this is your first time watching the show, welcome to Nick's Knowledge and Notions. What's up, Anthony Bass? What's up from STL, the 314? Much love. Appreciate you. So, real quick, my story is just like yours. Like most people, was told to work twice as hard as the other guy, go to school, get that piece of certificate that's going to promise you a lifestyle, an American dream. Well, I found out that that wasn't true. I found out that after I got that, supposedly piece of certificate, I had $40,000 worth of consumable debt. I had $20,000 worth of student loans. And at the young age of 26, 27, man, I was strapped financially. And I had a 525 credit score. And I didn't have STEAM. Didn't do science. Didn't do technology. Wasn't because I didn't know it. I wasn't told the value of it. I definitely was on the verge of being an entrepreneur, but I wasn't seeing any entrepreneurs in my family. Or if there were, they weren't giving me any, clue that they were entrepreneurs, legitimate entrepreneurs. I'm not talking about the street hustlers, slinging, weed and, selling, women and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. That's the wrong way. But they utilize the same principle. And I definitely wasn't given access, and I definitely didn't have any mentors. So I figured out, got rejected on a mortgage, then got turned down on a business loan. A couple of years later, I just read a book called The Road to Wealth by Susie Orman. And I actually only read one chapter. I read that chapter about credit, and upon applying that, because that was my access through the book and my mentorship through the book. Went to a 720 credit score. 24 months later, went to 800. After that, I figured things out, and I started providing access and mentorship to other people that look like you and me, specifically in the middle class. Long story short, 20 years, my credit score after that has not been under 800. It's at 827 right now. I'm consumer debt free. 2002 became consumer debt free. And in 2008, I became a six-figure passive income earner and a seven-figure net worth guy. And I created a program that you just saw in the open of our show called Family Finance 101. And I've sat down with over 25,000 people over the last 20 years, teaching them consumer debt freedom, financial independence, how to open up businesses, invest in real estate, and leverage the tax laws through the 7 spheres of money, which is another system that I created and trademarked because I have CPAs, financial planners, attorneys, financial planners, which I said again, estate planners, bankers, and we just help people win through access and mentorship. And because I am a serial entrepreneur and proud to be, I bring to the table experience. And what has that to do with relationships, networking, and access? Because I'm about to show you the power of the network that in my bill pay business that I don't do hardly any anymore, but the relationships were still solid because I had integrity over the last 12 years. I was able to go on my personal Rolodex and create a 7-figure opportunity just like that with the right product and the right service in a mere 72 hours. I'm gonna say that again, in a mere 72 hours. And guess what? I got the proof on the fruit of the tree to show it. So our sponsors, Tolero Tequila, 100% organic, 100% blue agave, the best of the best, been prepared and distilled minimum of 4 years to give it the highest quality of taste, and 100% black owned. They are our sponsors, and then they wanted to raise some capital because in the startup world, especially in the spirits world, it's very hard to compete. But they got the best tasting tequila in the world. And I said, you know what? DJ the Money Coach, I know some people with money, real money, 10, 15, 20, $40 million. I know a billionaire personally. And I know a good friend of mine that manages a $1.5 billion portfolio. I said, you know what? Let's see what the access to my network can do to elevate Tolero, because they need capital infusion and they need relationships in the little republic in a country in of itself called Texas. And you know what, Nick? The principals flew down on Tuesday morning, and from Tuesday morning to just last night, we brokered through my network that I thought was dormant, that I haven't even tapped into in the past 12 years. But because I'm a man of integrity, hardworking, keep my word, and 9 out of 10 times I deliver. I do fall short a lot, but I deliver. We went from nobody knowing Tolero in this small, town to almost everybody that's important. Here's what happened. They got off the plane, and we set up our first meeting at 2 p.m., which I thought was going to be with the VP of Urban Development for HEB. Mind you, this gentleman, a go-getter, he goes from VP 12 years ago to now the VP of all operations for HEB. And he happens to be a Omega Psi Phi brother that believes 100% in what I always practice, cooperative economics. So we roll up to his venue. He says, hey, meet me at my luxury, exclusive, one-of-a-kind, like the Harvard Club venue called the 5 Central in River Oaks. River Oaks, Houston, Texas, is where the Bushes live. All the old blue blood money resides in River Oaks. Not the new money. We're talking about the money goes back 200-300 years. The plantation money. Wow. So we roll up to River Oaks and we come on this beautiful establishment, and we're like, wow, man, where's the fuck? We didn't know that these dudes own everything. Like 17,500 square feet of property owned by brothers in the old plantation money area of Houston. So we roll in, we're looking for Mr. Williams, and we come up on Mr. Williams, and he's like, hey man, how you guys doing? We chit chat. So you got a black ticket, but check this out. Here's where not depending on the PWI, but having relationships with the PWI that are built on respect and ethics. Pull up that first picture with me and the PWI guy.
First picture. Okay, I'm just gonna. I might pull up the wrong one.
There's only one PWI. You know what PWI means? The institute. So show me the PWI person.
Gotcha. All right. Gotcha. Okay.
See, sometimes that high end education gets in the way of.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get used to your
that lingo of the free people. So
yeah, there you go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, I love everybody on the planet, but I love my people more than I love anybody, but I don't discriminate. But the reality is I respect every man and woman on the planet. This gentleman here named Mr. Host, who when I moved down here, actually opened up his Rolodex to me. He said, you know what? He said, black and white people should be able to do business just like white people and black people do business, as long as we share the same morals, ethics, and principles, and we're hardworking, and we're trying to better our community. So I took him up on the challenge, and he was in the grocer business and insurance business. He introduced me to the players because he spent 20 years in the grocery business, and he introduced me to the gentleman that I'm talking about right now, the black guy who worked underneath him at Safeway. He was his general manager, and he learned to cut his teeth under this gentleman here, Mr. Host, and then Mr. Host introduced me to Mr. Williams, who's the black guy. Now, that was 12 years ago. I haven't talked to Mr. Host in 3 years. We have each other's personal cell phone numbers. I actually do business with his daughter. She handles all of my corporate, commercial insurance accounts, and we get paid for it. And we talk black and white politics unapologetically. No filter. So I call up Mr. Host, and he just happened to be in town, Nick, for literally about 5-6 hours. Because he owns multiple properties, and all he does now, his life is live the pom-pom lifestyle. He literally has homes in very beautiful resort areas, up in the hills, the mountains. He has summer home. So I get him on the phone. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Host? You at home? Man, I'm only here to pick up my grandchildren. We're going to be gone for the next 3 months.
Wow.
What's going on, DJ? I said, hey, man, I got this product, and I need your advice. Because I knew he was connected to grocery, and I hadn't talked to Mr. Williams in a while, but Host is my guy. I roll up. He said, hey, man, I'm going to be at my house for like an hour. Fortunately, I live about 20 minutes from him. I hop right in the car. Mind you, I ain't talked to him in 3 years. Mm-hmm. I roll to his house with the Tolero, and he's a upscale wine drinker. He don't even drink tequila. He opens up the tequila bottle. He smells it like a wine, snob. He's not a snob, but that's how they smelled the bouquet and all that. And he was like, oh, man, this smells wonderful. And he goes and pulls out some wine glasses. We pour a little bit in, and on top of that, he's getting work done to his beautiful house by a full-blown Mexican guy from Guadalajara, Jalisco. Who could imagine that? So Mr. Host says, hey, Victor, I want you to tell me if this is the real deal that they drink back in Mexico. So the Mexican guy, he sniffs it. He shoots it down. Hey, no, you don't. He's like, no, well, that's how we shoot it. Mr. Host. And the dude's like, oh, man, this is pretty good. So now Mr. Host, he sips it. My goodness, this is pretty good. He put some in my glass. I sip some. He sips some more. He's like, I need to keep the whole bottle. No problem, Mr. Host. Immediately, here comes the networking, baby. Here comes the relationships. He immediately. Now, most of the time when you meet people that look like us, that are high posts and successful, not all of them, but most of them out there flossing, they'll tell you, hey, man, I'm going to connect you with this person. If it happens, it's usually 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 weeks, month later. Mr. Host ain't seen me in 3 years. He immediately, Nick, opens up his Rolodex, called this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. He immediately texts me, you need to see DJ right now. You hear what I'm saying? You need to see DJ right now because he's got a bona fide winner in Tolero, and you need to give him a shot. Boom. He hooks me up with 5 people that are decision makers So we correspond. Okay, cool, man. HEB, Randall's, a couple of other stores. Now back to Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams forgot that he met me. He said, Steve Holtz, that's my guy. Steve Holtz made me my career, and then I became an entrepreneur. So now we at his club. Take down that picture. Now pull up the picture of me, Ben, Coda, and Mr. Williams at his exclusive club.
Okay.
Power the network, baby. That's with me with the Cubs jersey logo on inside the club with me, Ben, Coda, and Mr. Williams.
Okay.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, the network and the relationships are starting to benefit it. Yep, this is it. This is the right one. So we roll up to his club. They get off the plane literally at 12 o'clock. We got an appointment with him at 2 p.m. He don't even remember me, straight up. We roll up. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, you host guy? I said, man, remember you put me in a couple of the HEBs? I vaguely remember. So now he's like, but host told me you the guy, you got something that's black on. Show him the bottle and everything. He's excited. Lo and behold, somehow he says he's Omega Psi Phi, and sure enough, our tallest guy is Omega Psi Phi too. At that point, they know mutual people. He takes us up to the executive. This is the VIP room. Check this out. Memberships for cigar memberships start at $5,000. Go up to 50 G's a year. I don't think you heard me. Start at $5,000 up to 50 G's. They have safe deposit box like in a bank where you can go in with your little key and a barcode, and you can go in and get your cigars and whatever kind of stuff exclusively 24/7, 365. So he's now taking us through his whole amazing complex. And believe me when I tell you complex, and he's excited. He said, guess what? If it tastes half as good as Host said, I'm putting it exclusively in all of our restaurants, which consists of 5 to 10 restaurants. So he tasted, oh, it's better than expected. It's black on. Oh, it's on the menu immediately. We got an event. Cigar Week is starting. Y'all got to come out and check out the event. We was like, oh, no, you got to come out and check out the event. So the networking done right, nurturing the relationships done right, is now put us in position for a 6-figure deal just in his restaurant. Now from there, we leave there and we go to another venue. We go to a venue with another restaurant called Pele Pele. If you look up Pele Pele, P-E-L-I, capital P-E-L-I, it's South African high-end restaurants that are only in the most affluent communities. And this comes from a gentleman I know named Sammy. Is an Asian Indian guy that, again, solid relationships with. Know I'm all about being down with my people unapologetically. And he turns me on to about 38 restaurants. We go to one owner, owns 15 restaurants. Boom, same thing. Oh, wow, boom. I mean, let's effortlessly. Yeah, man. Sam say you the guy. If it tastes good, it's on the menu. Pow. We get a verbal agreement. Just like that. Oh, by the way, the principal is an attorney, so he's writing all this stuff up. Okay? So now we go to who I call my big brother, a gentleman named Johnny Sellers, who I've been doing from the bill pay business for about 13 years. He says he knows the biggest network marketer influencers. You know our people, they do a lot of network marketing stuff, don't they? ACN, all kind of stuff. Legal Shield, all kind of stuff.
Yep.
But 9.9 out of 10 of them make zero money. But this guy happens to be the godfather and has 100,000 people in his downline. Check this out. This guy and I went to the same high school at the same time, didn't even know each other.
Wow.
A brother. So from the restaurant, from the exclusive Harvard Light Club, if you don't know what the Harvard Club is, look it up, to the restaurants, to the one of the top network marketing gurus, influencers on the globe that looks like you and me. This guy, again, went to high school, didn't even know we went to the same high school. He knows my big brother for 20 years. We talk, sit down. He said, oh, yeah, man, I blew up Marigold, which is a coffee from Malaysia. They moved like $40 million worth of coffee in 3 years. Now, don't get me wrong with the exact numbers, but this is proof. If you know this little small company called ACN, his organization blew up ACN. His organization also blew up Legal Shield, him as the influencer. So he literally takes his network of professionals and put them in new high-end products and services and actually make them winners overnight, multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar companies because how much volume they move. So we sit down with him, Nick. We excited that we knew each other indirectly because we never met. And he said, hey, man, again, this dude drinks nothing but the best of the best in tequila. He was like, dude, I'm a serial tequila drinker, and we good, but it's got to be money. This guy, I ain't, clout chasing anything, but I'm just telling you facts. My man drives a brand new S550, 100 grand car, 2021 series. Flies the Millionaire Club. If you don't know what the Millionaire Club, you really ain't a ball. He don't own a jet, but he flies Millionaire Club with private jets. Okay? So he tasted tequila. He's blown away by it. He's like, man, this got to be at least $80, $90 a bottle. Nope. Half the price. He tells me, Nick, we can move 500,000 bottles in 90 days. Wow. 500,000 bottles in 90 days. That's $10.7 million worth of business, brother. So, boom. That's right. That's right. Exactly. My man. Mama Dad, we just talked to. Yeah. So we take that, and this is the reason why the principals flew down here to meet him. So we sit down, they meet, we etch out some things. He comes back. He said, hey, man, I can put y'all on the map. I can put y'all all around the world. We work out a outline, and then he comes back with an offer to us. We counted offer, and yesterday we closed the deal. 500,000 bottles. It'll be finalized Wednesday, maybe Friday at the latest, what's called redlining, but it's pretty much a done deal. He actually went down on his private jet that he flies through Millionaire Club to Miami, Florida. We have a distribution center there. He goes to visit the distribution center. He's fired up. Fired up. So now pull up the other picture. So that's another relationship, 13 years, been nurtured. That's 3 deals. Okay. Now, another one of my relationships through another business I was in about 6 years ago for a person that does party planning. So I said, we're looking for some influencers, right? This person connects me with this awesome lady named Onita, who's got a master's degree in economics. She also was a bartender and a buyer. We sit down at a Landry's restaurant. She's connected with Landry's. My guy's connected with Landry's. They taste the tequila. They love it. Next thing I know, we're doing a tasting at her establishment in front of a solid group of buyers. They love the product. Then we go to another partner of mine, Mr. Avery Johnson, who we interviewed on Financial Expert Series with DJ the Money Coach. Yep. Unbeknownst to me, I've been knowing Avery for about six and a half years. And I forgot he used to be a general manager for Bennigan's. I just happened to be out there in the Woodlands with the Pele Pele restaurant, and his establishment is right across the highway, a high-end barbershop. We go over there and meet with him. He loves it. Yeah, this is at the 5 Center Place. This is the VIP cigar room with nothing but beautiful black people that look like you and me. And again, you got to pay a minimum of 5 G's a year to get in this club. Minimum 5 G's. And all these people, we took a couple of samples of Tolero. It was gone in like about an hour.
Wow.
Show the next picture. And again, tell these people got money. And positive. They ain't out there clowning and everything like you see. Positive. Okay? So we go into Avery's barbershop. Pull up that picture of Avery. And Avery, I forgot, he spent 15 years in the grocery business.
Yeah, I don't think
He likes what he sees. He says, hey, do you know Papa's and Pilatos? I'm pretty sure I said that you check it again.
Which
We'll pull it up. So Pilatos is the #1 Italian restaurant in the whole area, and he knows a guy named Phil, the owner, for 6 years. It says Faded Glory Barbershop is me, Avery, and Ben on the picture. I'll send it to you again.
Okay.
So he walks us right down to the Italian restaurant. The Italian owner, he looks up, he tastes it. He says, we can put this in our store, our restaurant immediately. We can do sample tastings and everything starting next Wednesday. Oh, I know what happened. I sent them over here. I forgot to send you. So yeah, let me forward this to you.
Okay.
So he then, Nick, tells us about 5 other family-owned Mexican restaurants. You see where this is going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Relationships, networking. So from Tuesday to Thursday night, we literally got verbal commitments for about 38 restaurants, 500,000 bottles through a network marketing guru, and an exclusive one and only club that people came from aficionado cigar week, taking snapshots, photos of us. Literally last night, we're going to show them a couple of pictures. And that's going to be a 6-figure deal, a 7-figure deal, a $10.7 million deal potentially with when the ink dries from relationships that I've had nurtured for the past 13 years of my entrepreneurial life. And all that happened because of access.
Wow.
So, and on top of that, Erica Williams, pull up the Business Over Breakfast Conference
Okay.
picture. You got that one, right?
Yeah.
So Erica Williams, we were talking to her, remember, she was like, hey, I'm going to be in Houston. You need to come to this conference. I was like, I don't need to go to that conference. I don't have no desire to go to that conference. But Erica was like, you need to go to that conference. I'm going to introduce you to some people that you need to know. So check this out, Nick. I put down a couple of people on my wish list. Didn't tell anybody. Didn't tell Erica. It was 5 guys that I wanted to meet that I seen on social media, and I was hoping they would have what they claim to be online, right? One of the guys, remember the guy who does the mobile park, the brother with his wife that was on David Never Sleeps, they bought 2 mobile trailer parks. His name is Byron Sellers. Young brother, your age, bought a $20 million mobile park and closing on like a $15 million mobile park here in the immediate future. The very first person, I kid you not, me and Crusher step into the conference. Erica, I ain't said nothing to her about this guy, my wish list or anything. She walks up to me with Mr. Byron Sellers.
Wow.
And introduced me. And this guy, because he's from Chicago, we talk the Chicago lingo. He gives me his personal cell phone number. And guess what? He's coming on our show.
Wow.
And he has some mobile park opportunities for our network. Power of the network. Erica is amazing. Erica lines up 15 guys that I need to know. And 5 of the guys I had on my list that she didn't know about, she introduced me to all 5 and didn't even know it.
Wow.
Power of the network, brother.
Power of the network.
And that's a network that we have fostered with Erica for less than a year.
Yep, that's right.
That, again, we got to give credit to Ashley Canty. I just sent you the one with Faded Glory. Did you get that?
Yep, got it.
So from here, we meet. Pull up the picture of me and Erica. Did you get the picture with me and Erica and the gentleman that you don't know, but you know who he is now, Marcus?
Yep.
Pull that up. Power of the network. Power of network, relationships, and integrity. I'm going to emphasize it. Nick, matter of fact, before you put that up, put them 3 words back up there. Start with integrity, relationships, network equals wealth. Put that up there for the people. Integrity plus relationships plus networking equal wealth. Because see, this is real, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals. This ain't this hop on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and these. And again, if you made $1 million overnight and you're 25 years old, I'm excited for you. But you probably damn sure don't even know. No, put relationships. Integrity plus relationships plus networking equals wealth. Okay? Integrity plus relationships plus networking equals wealth. And 9 out of 10 times, these cats on here making the money, but they don't know nothing about money. They don't have attorneys. They don't have CPAs. They don't have financial planners. They don't have bankers. They just hustlers. And they're paying a boatload in taxes. They doing their own, LLCs and they do it yourself because they're hustlers. They're not really creating generational wealth. You see, what they don't tell you is that most of them go broke because they don't know how money works, and then they have a huge tax bill because they don't have a James Lane on their team. You follow me? We have all those people. This is the value of our network. Okay, now this is what matters in access and STEAM, because if you have integrity, you know how to nurture relationships based on integrity, being a man or woman of your word, having great work ethic, and then you know how to network, it will create wealth for you no matter how smart you are. All you got to do is be a masterful person at sincerity in building relationships and networking. You'll create transgenerational wealth. So now pull up that slide about what Ben and Avery and I. Oh no, that one right there. Yeah, so check this out. Yeah, pull that one back up. That was the right one. My bad. Yeah, so check this out. Now, here's the power of discernment. Discernment. If you don't know what that word means, go look it up. I don't have time to give you a definition on discernment. So, discernment. So, this is Erica Williams. This is a sharp gentleman named Marcus. And at the Breakfast Over Business conference, I had my son, because Nick, I take my children to everything I do. Why do I do that? So they can have the Steph Curry effect. So if you don't know what the Steph Curry effect is, all it is this. If you put your children around professionals at an early age, 2 things are going to happen if they have talent and they develop masterful skills. Number 1, they're not going to be intimidated by somebody older than them that they have better skills than or on the equal level. So they will be treated as professionals in their craft and they won't be intimidated by them. That's number 1. Number 2, they will accelerate faster because they'll continue to stretch themselves trying to get up to the level of those professionals. And number 3, they'll become prodigies, or what is it? Prodigies. Yeah, prodigies or progenies. And they'll be what you think are geniuses, but all they did was get on the pathway of getting those 10,000 hours of deliberate skill hours mastered to become a masterful skillsman. So why do I show you this picture? Because again, this is Erica and me from Breakfast Over Business. This is after the event because I ran into this super razor sharp gentleman named Marcus because he talked to my son, Crusher, and treated him at the skill set he had and the maturity he had versus looking at, oh, what is this little kid doing at a business conference?
Mhm.
Instead of being condescending towards him and hey, little guy, hey, you know, it's okay, little guy. You know how people, and they don't do it purposely, but they talk down to kids.
Yeah.
This gentleman, he talks to him at his level. I get a business call and I got to step away and he's engaging them and talking to them. And while I'm doing the business call, I just happen to look over him and my son's excited. He's engaging with him and everything. I was like, wow, man, this is a sharp guy. I need to know a little bit more about this guy. This guy happens to tell me he's looking for investment for a $40 million project. I said, okay. I hear that all the time. I say, you got a deck? He said, I got a deck with me right now. I got a deck with me right now. And if you don't know what a deck is, then you need to ask somebody. This is high level stuff. This guy has a deck. So I said, okay, cool, man. I give him my number. He give me his number. I don't really think anything about it. Eric and I had planned to do dinner together. And so as we're going to try to do dinner, I said, you know what, man, that guy really treated my son real well. I just called him up. I had a good feeling about him. I said, hey, man, come catch us for dinner. This guy says, okay, I could be there in an hour and 15 minutes. Here's where the character comes in. Unbeknownst to me and Erica, this guy was halfway home. He lived 3 hours away, but he saw something that he was willing to risk. He turned right around and came back and met us at dinner at 11:30 at night.
Wow.
I don't think you heard me, ladies and gentlemen. He turned around. Now, mind you, you know how I roll to a place. This is what I had on at the business conference. Everybody else was blinging with the watches, the suits, you know, all this regalia. But I'm there looking like plain Joe Smo. He's looking for major investors. He ain't looking for me, but he is looking for me. You see what I'm saying? So now he comes back to the breakfast. It's a jazz, live jazz. And I'm like, a young guy ain't going to want to listen to no jazz. He's going to be about that head banging, hip hop, you know, your mom and this, you know, in that, blah, blah, blah. No. Oh, yeah, I'll meet you at the jazz spot. We meet at the jazz spot. We have an amazing time. And then he tells me his story. This guy graduates from West Point.
Wow.
The West Point. Cum laude. His best friend, another brother, graduates from West Point. Master's degree from Berkeley. Oh, by the way, his wife, not his, but his best friend's wife, she actually is the VP or the president of Netflix financial stocks, investment, and financial literacy programs for the whole organization. And she, any country they go in, she has to set up the stocks, the tax situations. She handles all of it.
Wow.
And guess what? She's a black woman. Relationship. So if he tells us a story, I said, we just have to, he said, oh yeah, I just turned around. I was actually halfway home. Wait a minute. You were halfway home. You came back. And he said, yeah, because, man, your son was so sharp. I knew that if you can raise a son at 14 as sharp as him, I needed to know you better. We chop it up. We have a good time. Erica's showing him the stuff. We hit it off right. Discernment, right? So I end resolve with our preacher getting on here. I say, hey, man, I'm going to introduce you to B. Hutch. Now, do I rarely just introduce people to the preacher or B. Hutch?
Nope.
This gentleman is the real deal. So now, earlier today, we're talking about one of the top commercial projects in the country. This gentleman is only 26 years of age. Already has done multiple flips, multifamily homes, and now embarking on a $40 million project at 26 years of age. Access mentorship. Because the wife, she works in Silicon Valley. She told us the average person in her age group income is $500,000 to $1 million a year, and the median age is like 26.
Wow.
Connect them up. That relationship, get Leonard Ray on the phone. He talks to him. He's impressed with him. Brandon's impressed with him. Network. You see what I'm saying? Integrity, relationship, networking, wealth. Because how often in your lifetime, and whoever's watching this, you're going to get access to a gentleman that graduated from West Point who's connected to the executive at 28 years of age that's handled all of a Fortune 5, not even Fortune, it's a Fortune 10 company. And look like you and me. And you talking about humble. They are non-assuming. You would think they had nothing. Nondescript, but razor sharp. So that unfurls. Now, pull up the picture with Avery and Ben. We go to the barbershop, and it just the relationships that we've been cashing in the bank, and they've been matriculating and what you call marinating. We're able to tap into that stuff just like that and create instant wealth opportunities in our community. So if you don't understand the power of true integrity, true relationship building, and networking the right way, you are missing the boat because you don't understand what STEAM really means for everybody. And this is how the PWI, the Asians, the Hispanics, the Asian Indians, this is how they roll. Why is it that we can't roll like that? You know why? Because we got so much embedded insecurity, and then when we make it, we're taught that only one of us can get to the mountaintop. But the reality is the mountaintop is unlimited for winners because God has made enough abundance for everybody on this planet to be a multimillionaire. Real talk. So we've been on a whirlwind tour, opening up my old Rolodex, being blessed by work I did 12, 13 years ago that now it seems like overnight we're getting 6-figure, 7-figure opportunities just like that. But it ain't overnight, son. And I'm not calling you son, but I'm just saying son as a figure of speech. And this is real stuff that's going to be stickiness, that's going to be transgenerational wealth for our children's children. That's what I'm talking about. And having the ability to get on the phone, chop it up, with Leonard Ray, say, hey, man, I know you don't jump on and talk, but you need to talk because these people are impressive. And Leonard Ray was like, no problem. Leonard Ray is in Lowe's or IKEA or Home Depot doing his commercial stuff, and he takes time out because the relationship that me and him have, and he trusts me, did not waste his time, and we put him in front of these people. And now, check it out. Here's the win for it for me personally. Forget about the money. Guess what? Who I had on that conference call with them sharp people. I give you 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count.
Cool. Did you have one of your sons on there?
Yes, I did. I had Rodney on there.
Yeah.
And why did I have Rodney on there? Because Rodney told me about 6 weeks ago he wanted to be a real estate investor as well as a Forex trader. And he said he wanted to get a real estate license. I said, you don't need a real estate license. You just need to have, again, access and mentorship. And so guess what they did? They said, you know what? We'd be more than happy to take your son under our wing because you, in just 5 minutes, you introduced us to your inside network. And we're the real deal. They're the real deal. Why would we not help your son out? So let me ask you this. Do you think my son need a college degree or he need to follow the mentorship of Leonard Ray and get plugged in with these young, sharp investors that are knocking down a $40 million project at the young age of 26? What can the university do for my son? What can the university do for my son that Leonard Ray and Brandon and these young, sharp professionals can do for him What can the university do for my son? Real talk.
Right. Yeah.
Real talk. They already raised $5 million in 60 days to secure 104 acres of land in the most fastest growing county in Texas. These are 3 sharp black professionals, engineering backgrounds, financial backgrounds, 26, 26, and 28. Why are we not sharing that with our people? I can't remember. Do I have any other pictures on there? So with that, we're gonna bring on Leonard Ray, and this is what it's about, man. And I'm actually about to go to another event. And again, integrity, relationships, networking equal wealth. You didn't hear me say college degree, because a college degree is irrelevant unless you want to be a doctor or engineer. Those don't create wealth. It's the access. So there we go.
Yo,
there's the preacher.
What's going on?
We're gonna let the preacher jump in and tell us the sermon for today.
Hello, family eat night. These are the things that I like to do. Just got to finish cooking for girls, so pretty much fixing some stuff. Want to chime in real quick. How's everybody doing? Now, as far as do you need a degree to get where I guess you want to be? I mean, my answer would be on certain jobs, yes. It's like, I want the doctor who's performing surgery to be a doctor. Okay. I want the engineer who's designing my commercial space to be an actual engineer. I mean, but if you look at a majority of some of the most wealthiest people in the world, even finish college, and I think it's really about the individual. And if you can plug into a certain network that actually gets you access to the things that generate money, then you kind of make a decision whether that's where you want to be, or or that's who you want to follow. So when he asked the question, what can Rodney learn in school? I mean, pretty much how to work for somebody else. I mean, it's just it sounds bad, but it's real talk though. And it's just a situation of what type of individual do you want to be, and if you literally hang around most people, you start to realize they're a little bit stranger than most, and they do things a little bit differently than most. They're swimming downstream while everybody else is swimming upstream. So it kind of stands out that way. With me, I kind of built up a situation where the integrity was so in certain areas of the workplace. Everybody dancing for their own piece of the pie, and they're stabbing each other in the back and things like that. So I just kind of wanted to create something that I didn't have to worry about what Joe Blow was doing or what anybody else was doing. I pretty much just wanted to, and then I also have the point where I don't really need anybody. So create that type of freedom for yourself, and then you get to choose who you want to deal with, who you really want to work with, and that's something. But I was in IKEA. That's where I was. It was Sunday night. I was ordered by the person who runs everything, and I was supposed to pick up a TV stand. So that's where I went. IKEA is the worst place to go, because I get in there and I'm like, wow, this is a builder's dream. Let me renovate this kitchen. So it's hard for me to walk around IKEA without taking notes or grabbing stuff. I was like, God, do I need a cart? So I got one of the really big, huge, like dolly drinks. I'm trolling around, and I'm like, luckily I go to IKEA. I have a membership and attach me into their Wi-Fi. So I was able to be on the call with those young developers and to, listen to their plans and look over some of the stuff. And, it's a blessing to be that young, at this vision and doing what you need to do to accomplish that. So it's kudos to that whole team. And it looks like it's going to be a project.
Oh yeah, it's a winner. We did a conference call with him again today with Brandon, and it's a legitimate winner, man. And Brandon manages a $1.5 billion portfolio, and that's all he does. And it checked every box that he checks and what he's looking for. And he was like, we can line this up with some investors, and they've done all their homework. And let me tell you this, the young lady, she dropped out of college in her freshman year, had a basketball scholarship, and she passed the Series 7 in 30 days. So, and now
downstream.
Now she's running the whole Netflix finances, stocks, and doing taxes for them in 25 countries. Been doing it for 6 years. And she just told us she completed her college degree because she wanted to show her siblings that, college is something that you should pursue. But she was hired by Netflix to do what she does because of her skill sets.
It had nothing to do with it. This is probably going to be a really testy topic with me. Like I said, I turned down my scholarship, and now that my son is of age and all the other stuff, and my daughter celebrated a birthday the other day, and you have your choice to do what you really want to do, and that's fine. But the whole point to get to college is to make money, like to generate a certain source of income. But if you can find something that you're not accruing that huge student loan debt, I would definitely recommend that. And it's so many opportunities. It's so many things that you can think up with. And a lot of times, if you get a skill set, talking about the young lady who you're speaking of, if you get a skill set, the money will find you. Don't really have to chase the money. The money will literally find you if you skill set. And as I was talking to her on Sunday, I was like, the whole point of this is to, get your foot in the door. And, we were agreeing on a lot of things. And I see the passion, but I also recognize the game, game recognized game. And, this seeing the, her drive and her pursuit. And, I said, God, I wish somebody was able to pull me to the side at that particular age. I was flipping at probably 22, 23. And to jump up to this particular scale, it definitely takes a huge leap. But you can imagine where she's going to be at when, these guys are 40. The same thing for Nick. The earlier you start, the quicker you're going to get there. It's kind of like investing in stocks or whatever thing, the sooner you're in, the more exponentially that compound growth takes place. So the sooner you start, the better. You don't want to be, they always say you don't want to be, thinking about retirement when you're in your 50s. It's pretty much too late. But if you can start when you are young, or take out some of those issues as far as student loan debt and things like that, it's definitely going to help you in the long run. You look at the federal government makes so much money off of student loan debt. It's not even funny. I have 2 doctor friends of mine, and they just got finished paying off their student loans, and they are in their mid to upper 40s. So, but they're doctors. I'm just So they probably had way more than most. But the point is, they were, they were done by like 28, 29, and then you start your residency, and then, you get 50,000 your first year, 75,000, you work your way up. But another one of my other really good friends, she was able to get her degree, she had to take a residency wherever they was freaking offering that. And she had to up and relocate to another state where she knew nobody, because that's who offered her the residency. So it kind of makes you who now is, who are you in control of? Who's controlling you, and, what strings are being pulled. But like I said, I don't want nobody who got a non-degree working on me. I always tell people, I don't want a janitor performing a heart surgery. So I don't think you should be having anybody give, advice unless they're pretty proficient in their field. And as far as that young development team that's going, that's doing big things in Texas, I mean, I'm just gonna sit here and just watch. And they're doing it. So what's your excuse? West Point isn't an easy school to get into. You're working for one of the, most, I guess, Netflix. I don't know a family who doesn't have Netflix. It's kind of like Amazon Prime. You can't go down a block and throw a rock at somebody's house and not one person that has a Netflix account or Amazon account. So, you're working your way into, $1 trillion industries. It's not $1 billion industries. These are, $1 trillion industries with how much money these guys are bringing in and how much they, sitting on paper, to the point where Netflix is, doing their own freaking things and, changing the way we do movies now. I mean, come on now. Look at, you want to hear a horror story, look at Blockbuster. And how they pretty much just moved that dinosaur right the hell out the way. It started with, okay, well, I don't have to leave my house. And they went from not leaving my house to they're going to give me a return envelope to mail the DVD back, to now we're the first one to offer a streaming service. Now we got big stars doing movies exclusively with it. I mean, it's pretty powerful. So if you're able to capitalize on an opportunity and on that in the beginning, it's pretty impressive. Definitely.
You got to think about it, and like I was saying, we're talking about the integrity and the relationships and the networking equal wealth, and a lot of times the relationships are so important because, I mean, think about it. We're not here if we don't have a relationship with Clarence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything is connected.
Right, everything is connected.
It's funny. It's funny, like but I think it's what they call the 5 degrees of separation, where you probably know everybody in the world. You just got to talk to your 5 friends, or a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend who end up, getting to where you want to be. It's a funny story. My daughter is she's a big Tyler Perry fan, like really, really, really big Tyler Perry fan. So one day she's like, I really want to meet him and blah, blah, blah. I was like, wow, let's see how this game really works. Let's see if it really works out. But called a friend who knew a friend who knew a friend, and next thing you know, my wife and my daughter gets invited down to the Tyler Perry studio in Georgia before it was open to the public, and was able to sit there and watch tapings of the shows. And a really good dude. He came out and he talked to my daughter, took pictures with her and everything. I mean, busy guy, obviously, building a huge brand for itself, but nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible if you put enough faith in it. You put the work in, and the network and the connections. You'll be surprised, and then you turn around and you figure out, God, how many millionaires I have on speed dial. and not a lot of people can say that.
I mean, think about it. Why are we not teaching this in schools?
Oh,
you
man.
and I, we know why, but
I know exactly why. I don't know if they really want to hear.
Right. These elite universities were created for that, to actually foster relationships so that they can continue to get bigger and more wealthy and more powerful.
No, I mean, well, it's being taught. It's not being taught in our schools, but it's being taught.
Right. Right.
So it's being taught. I mean, at the country club, it's being taught at the nonprofit functions. It's being taught at the fundraiser dinner. It's being taught, oh, my daughter is going to be introduced to your son. He comes from this particular family. And then, we do, it's kind of like arranged marriages, man. It's like I say, it's being taught. It's just not being taught with our community yet. And we're so sporadically placed, it's rare for us to be able to come together and, collaborate on some things. I talked about it, I think last year. I said, I'm going to go ahead and try to do a group economics thing where everybody could participate in something as a group, where you're not taking all the responsibility on yourself. So not only is, an investment being spread, but also the risk is also being spread. When, you decide to move forward in any employment, you're pretty much the only person, and you can get hired or fired just like that. I know several people who are like close to retirement, and then their job at the last minute decides to cut them because they can hire 2 or 3 people for the same salary. It's just,
three for one.
Yeah. So it's just like, God dang, you've put 20 plus years into this, and then next thing you know, if it's private industry, they can pretty much do what the hell they want to do. I think we all know that, especially now with how things are going in the economy. I mean, we're putting up great numbers on the stock market, but let's just keep it real. You still have, 8 million people. You have a few million people who are in, furnaces with mortgages. You also have inflation at a record high. At some point, the math is going to add up, and it's not going to be a good situation. So you just want to kind of protect yourself and do the things that you need to do. And if you can make those relationships, or take some initiative, go out there and leap on faith. Anything I have, I thank my Lord for allowing me to get it, and the connections I have, because I realized it wasn't me. I'm just presenting myself in a certain way, and if I ask for it and I really truly believe, then he delivers it, and that's just what it is. Like it's nothing. It's none of me. I ain't that good. Favor ain't fair, but I'm happy I got it. So that's just how I feel with it.
I mean, that's real talk, because everything that transpired this week from Tuesday to last night, that was all God. I mean, there's no way you can walk into a complete stranger establishment and he says, yeah, man, we're going to put your product on our shelf and we're going to showcase it immediately. I ain't had nothing to do with that, but in a sense I did, because I've been planting those seeds and nurturing solid relationships and adding value to people's lives without them giving us anything. So right here, last night, I'm with the 2 owners of the highest exclusive club in River Oaks. I'm telling you, dude, it was lines all the way to the end of 3 blocks of affluent people fighting to get into this place.
Hey man, everybody trying to get out their house.
Right. I mean, dude, it was Range Rovers, Maybachs, Bentleys rolling up like nobody's business. You would have been thinking, man, who are these? And these were some power movers and shakers in the VIP room, and these 2 gentlemen own the establishment. And because, like I said, one of the principals in Tulare was fraternity with the gentleman with the drink in his hand, who was Mr. Williams. He was like, hey man, we putting you on all our menus in every aspect of the 17,500 square foot establishment. We call 5 center because it got 5 different establishments in one that are all upscale. It's got a boutique bar, a cigar room, a high-end restaurant, VIP room for fraternities, black fraternity. This gentleman has actual black fraternity room, praising all the black fraternities. Balcony. I mean, it's just amazing, man.
Yeah.
So
you can do all that when you ain't got to report to nobody.
Exactly.
You can pretty much, say this is just for this when it's mine, it's me. So that's great. But also being to the point where he can kind of pave the way and open the door and blessing and give that that initial nod to get there. And it's, I think we've been pressing so long trying to move forward that eventually something has to get, either that door's gonna break down or we gonna get tired. And I ain't tired.
Yeah, the funny thing, Mr. Williams, the one that's the co-owner, he said, hey man, if us brothers and sisters could figure out we just do business with ourselves, he said we'll control the whole world. There's nothing you would be able to do.
I mean, yeah. I think we did a podcast earlier, late last year. I think it was right before I think it was New Year's, where we talked about the power of the black dollar and how much was being generated on stuff that we did not own, and that we're constantly being manipulated, tricked, persuaded not to invest in stuff that we do, but yet I think you mentioned earlier on the podcast where all the other ethnicities do this. They invest in their community and their dollar circulates a whole lot longer before ours is drifted out of our community. So it's one thing about working 40 plus hours a week and getting paid, but taking that same thing and your money isn't going home. Let's say before you get to your house, you drop, $100 here, $80 here, $20 there. By the time you get home, you got $7 in your pocket to go in your house. And unfortunately, that's how it is in our community. But I'm like, if we just took 30% of that and start investing in things, in the generational wealth and, how we can, exponentially multiply the wealth in our community. We were on here before with Dr. Frazier, and he was like, hey, when it boils down to it, the only thing that we're lacking is the money and the financial literacy to actually generate that and understand what the importance is of that. Your son, Rodney, is not going to have to work as hard as you did. My daughter is not going to have to work as hard as I did because we're laying foundations to get them to a next level. When Nick decides to, appropriate, so it's the same situation where, his kids are not going to work as hard as, ours. So if we can get enough of us together, and I think once you do that, the other people start to realize, or you start getting enough attention that people really start coming in and saying, hey, I see you guys doing something great. I want to be a part of it. And I think that's what's happening right now, that with the, the integrity side of it, no, everything's not going to be a freaking home run. No, you're not going to sit here. You're not going to be, a multi-millionaire overnight. Like this stuff takes time to build. But the point is, the sooner you start, the less time it's going to take to get there. And if we could do it together, that knocks off years, decades. And if we can actually just really focus on a common goal, just to the point where we can go ahead and stop having people who don't look like us tell us what's best for us. And I think that's something that in the Black community we've been lacking. We always have somebody else who didn't grow up in our neighborhood, don't go to our schools, who don't have the same bank account or the same education, but they know what's best for you. I think that's kind of insulting, you know. But if I had to choose of knowing what's best for my family, I think I probably would know it before somebody who was growing up on the West Side.
You know, so it's funny you say that. I just thought about this interview that what's his name? Damon. What's the guy who helped start Rockefeller? What's his name again?
Damon Dash.
Damon Dash. So Damon Dash was doing this interview with this clown white dude that had the audacity to tell him what black people should be thinking. Damon Dash said, "Man, he said, do you understand how ridiculous and audacious it is for you to sit up here and tell a black person what they should be thinking and believing as a white man?" And so the guy tried to skate around. He said, "Hey man," he said, "Why don't you explain to me how you know, the hypocrisy of the statement that you're making, that you think that your opinion of how black people think should be from your perspective." And this is a clown that black people go on his show, pumped him up, and Damon Dash was just like, "Dude, explain that to me, because you're not making any sense at all." And this dude would get these young rappers on his show and clown them. This white dude would clown him. I can't remember what this clown name was, but Damon,
I think it was Vlad or Void, or I think I know what you're talking about.
Where he just sliced him up. You know? And then the kid, what he started doing, because he couldn't get to Damon's intellectual level. Of course, what they do, they go into the bestiality mode. He started cursing, start puffing up his chest, because his intelligence level was real low, and he wasn't dealing with a little kid. But it always amazes me, man. Always amazing. And we sit up here and pump these clowns up. And again, that's relationship. You think it's better for your relationship to be with another guy, to pump up your own culture, to make him rich and famous. It's like in Cadillac Records, when they show the scene when the guy that's playing Rick Barry, which was Mos Def, and they showed the Jewish guy and the radio personality dude that was the producer. He said, "Hey," he was looking at Mos Def, who was playing Chuck Berry. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna make you famous and I'm gonna make you rich." And then Mos Def playing Chuck Berry, he got up and he said, "Oh, well, you move over here and I'm gonna move over here, because I don't want to be famous. I want to be rich." And the message is that they give us some little trinkets. Let me give you a Cadillac. Let me give you a house. And then you run up this debt and I charge you and I appropriate your culture like Jimmy Iovine.
Oh man, I mean, but what's the thing? I think New Edition did. They got paid in Honda scooters, yo. That was like their contract.
Right.
New Edition. Right. You know, I mean, how many records have they sold when they got paid in Honda Elite scooters? Like, my brother was a part of a really, really popular band that went, that did very well. But when they actually the contract, I mean, all the money was going to the wrong people. And I was just like, oh, yeah, you still have no ownership. I mean, you look at TLC and, they broke it down. It was like, yo, this is how you sell 20 million records and still broke. Just like, yo. And I think when from your first point, when you was talking about Damon Dash, that also happened. It was with Matt Damon and a very famous female black director. I can't think of her name right now, where he told her that he knows what's best for the black audience. And she went off. A real big thing was brought up about that. But she's directed several, very successful black films. And, it was in a group setting. And I think when they get around each other, they feel a little bit more empowered. So to say what they really want to say, just really say how they feel. So it came up, and she was like, the audacity for you to tell me how the black audience better than the people I'm making films for. Like, I'm black. Like, right. I think I might know what my people want to see. So it happens more. It happens more than you think. And I think now with the age of technology and videos being released and the internet, a lot of these things are getting brought to light. Unlike before when they would do it and it was your word against theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now I think, you know, it's kind of kicking them in the butt, because like I said, it's being broadcast, and you really have to ask yourself, who's getting the benefit out of this? You know, if you feel you're getting played, or things are not happening the way you need to do, then okay, well, you know, you have a little feeling, you know, say something, you know. And I think that's kind of different when it comes to everybody's situation. You can't just automatically start and just say, you know, I'm quitting this trip. I get it. You can't do that. You have family obligations and things that need to be in place. But you also have to want it and be teachable and be willing to, you know, make those tough decisions, you know. And I'm only speaking from experience to the point where I can literally set everything to freak down if I feel like it. Period. And if I don't want to work with you, I don't have to work with you. And
Right.
if I, you know, and I think that gives me an option that most people may not be able to deal with. And, you know, I used to tell people this, I tell my students this: how much did it cost you to get rid of a problem? And people say, oh, well, you know, it costs me this or that. I'm like, all right, well, you know, I've paid family members to get away from me. Like, it is what it is, yo. When I would literally loan money to people knowing that they can't pay me back, and then that's how much it costs me to get rid of people. So,
man, that's hilarious, man. You know, with that said, you know what? We're gonna bring this episode here to close in about 5 minutes. Nick, let's take a quick break from our sponsor, then we're gonna close out, man, and then we're gonna be out and enjoy the rest of our weekend, man. So
yeah, man, it's a holiday weekend, guys. Make sure you guys get out. It's storming all on the east side, so it's gonna be nothing but rain. But you know, hope somebody get a grilled hamburger or something.
All right, that's right. All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm DJ the Money Coach. Don't touch that dial. You want to become financially independent? You want to have consumer debt freedom? You want to have passive income, learn how to build a business, acquire real estate, and achieve the lifestyle you deserve in 2021? Well, hit that link below right now. We've worked with over 20,000 people in the past 2 decades, helping them become consumer debt free, increase their credit scores by 30 to 60 points in 30 days or less, and help them acquire businesses through real estate, taxes, and a network of experts just like me. So you'll get a complete 3-hour, 18-module course called Family Finance 101 that'll teach you A to Z how to become consumer debt free, credit worthy, and it puts you in position to become a certified entrepreneur. We'll also give you a complimentary consultation with me that's a $500 value. Why would you want to do that? Because I have already achieved that, and I can help you achieve your American dream in 2021. Hit the link below, get the free webinar and the complimentary consultation, and I'll see you soon and wish you a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money and peace of mind. Come join us.
Toledo Organic Tequila is so crisp, so incredibly smooth. It's simply in a category by itself. This is luxury. Life tastes better naturally, so should your tequila. This is Toledo. Enjoy responsibly. Visit ToledoTequila.com to get your bottle of Toledo Organic Tequila. Get a 10% discount on DJ the Money Coach by entering promo code MONEY at checkout. Again, that's ToledoTequila.com, promo code MONEY to get 10% off your Toledo purchase. Now, let's start the show.
All right. Welcome back to Nick's Knowledge and Notions, and we're gonna wrap this bad boy up because we were blessed to have our main man, the preacher, on the show. And you guys got to tune in to our upcoming shows, Bet on Black, which will kick off, which is, the women, the family, the legacy, with Black free professional women who complete the men in our community, and they don't compete with them. And then you'll catch next week on regular time and channel, which will be the Bet on Black, the men, the family, and the legacy. And we want you guys to have an amazing, holiday weekend. Be safe out there. Get some
Safe
air.
holiday weekend, yes.
That's most importantly to do that. So, Nick, man, what you got for us? Because we're gonna wrap this thing up, and then we're gonna roll to the hole with the preacher, and then we close it out. Enjoy this pom-pom lifestyle.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we talked all about relationships and that steam. And if anyone is looking for, practical steps, you may not be sure about how to start that or how to foster the relationships that you already have. I'll make the suggestion, just in case you're new to this channel and you haven't seen the previous episode of Nick's Knowledge and Notions, I want to suggest this book to you, Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. All about it says another secrets to success, one relationship at a time. It's all about building relationships, and he gives you steps of how to actually do that and carry that out. Regardless of what industry you're in, regardless of your schedule, he even shows you how even the busiest of us can still foster those relationships and make those connections. Because the formula for success is what you can achieve with others. That equals the formula for success. So I'll leave you off with that, and I'll turn it over to the minister to get a benediction.
Oh boy, that's a great book, Nick. Like, seriously. When you looked that up, and I was like, wow, that's pretty much how me and D started. It's never eaten alone. So I don't even like to go to the movies by myself. Like, let it alone. Like, come on, yo. Like, everybody got to eat. So if you can go ahead and just say, hey, man, let me go ahead and pick your brain, for over a cup of coffee or something. That's how relationships are built, man. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, I tell people, you make time for what's important. And if, it's important to you changing your life and changing your perspective, then you make time for that. Like, we have all these hours that we in a day, and people seem to think, well, I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that. All right, well, we got to figure out what's important. If it's important to you, you make those sacrifices, you make those connections, and believe me, those are the connections that's probably going to, change your life. If I gotta close it out with this, I'll close it out. Faith without works is dead, yo. You gotta be willing to put that work in. Like it is what it is. You gotta be willing to put that work in. You can have all the faith. One of my favorite comedians always say, everybody wants to be rich, but nobody wants to put the work in. Okay, if he woke you up, he gave you an opportunity to put the work in. Put that work in. So, because you never know what you can bring to somebody else in that situation that prepare you to open up a door, because we're all connected one way or the other. You thinking this, if there's the crack in that door, there's a way for you to change it. And you got to look yourself in the mirror and ask, are you worth it? And is your family worth it? And then that's just real talk. Faith without works is dead. So, let's get to work. You have that faith, it can be changed, but you got to go ahead and put forth that effort. And if you put forth that effort, he's going to acknowledge that. And it kind of goes back to how it be able to walk into the stuff that happened in DJ's life this whole week. It's putting forth that effort. you know, he walking around with the faith, but it's also putting forth that effort and being able to answer the call when the opportunity steps up. So that's what I leave that with.
Man, yeah, you know what? That's powerful because, yeah, you're right. Outside of that integrity and outside of developing those relationships and the networking, you know, didn't have to do it, but I did it and I put the work in and I didn't count the hours because it was all about getting across the finish line and delivering on what I told somebody I was going to do for them. Because when somebody helped me out, just like, you know, Leonard Ray did multiple times, he did it. No apologies. He just stepped up, did it. Just like Nick, he said, going to get this wrapped up for us, handle this business, you know, stuff and our administrative stuff, and he did it. We don't count the hours when you putting that work in for the right cause. So I would encourage you that are watching this is that, you know, you should plug into a system. Don't count the hours, count the reps that you do, because the more reps you do, the better you get, and the more experience to make your life more efficiently and more prosperous. And then if you have the right goals and the right team together for the right cause, you're going to win. And your children are going to win, and your children's children are going to win as well. So, you know, that's what we would like to leave with you. And at the end of the day, you know what? You either part of somebody's network, making them wealthy, or you part of your own network, making yourself wealthy in your group. And that's why we wear these baseball caps, because business is a team sport. It's the ultimate sport. You know, they don't put numbers up and count them for nothing. So you should think about that on your way home. So I'm going to turn it over to Nick. It is Nick's show. And again, follow, like, share, subscribe. We also want to thank everybody. Man, we've been getting a lot more subscribers to the program because that means we're adding value. And I also want to thank all of our members who have signed up to new programs with us and understood that, you know, I had to go out and handle some big level business because I'm going to bring you access. So everybody who had appointments scheduled with me and we had to reschedule or we had to block out this week, I don't apologize for that, but I appreciate you understanding because these are opportunities that we're bringing for you. We're bringing DJ, you know, the Forex, you know, opportunity to the fund for you guys through Mr. Leonard Ray and the Doblin Group. We're bringing Great Lake Property Management and the real estate investment. We're bringing Tolero. We're bringing a lot of stuff for you guys that you just don't get access at the regular level. You don't even get access at the median level of professional. This is an elite opportunity that we've invested 20 plus years in, and I don't think a lot of you guys understand that. So when you're investing, you know, your couple of $100, you have already got a value more than what you paid. All you got to do is go out and use the material. Just that simple. If you use the material and you apply it, like you said, with the faith, what works, it works. Without it, it doesn't work. So don't buy stuff and put up on the shelf. Utilize it, okay? So we'll get back online next week with everybody. So hopefully you understand these are 6-figure and 7-figure opportunities that we have, you know, marinated over years to bring to you to get you in the access that normally we never get, okay? So again, we appreciate you for everyone that understood that. And we appreciate the ones that, you know, that did the rescheduling with us. And again, what's going to separate us from everybody else? You're going to always get me, DJ the Money Coach, when I promise you I'm going to do something for you. But sometimes I have to put it aside and I have to go knock down some wells with the group so we can bring it in. We all eat. And then we teach you how to fish so you can fish for a lifetime at the end of the day. That's what we're striving to do. And that's what we're going to always do. We ain't perfect, but we're going to put that work in. And we're going to mature those relationships we have, and we're going to create wealth through our integrity, and we're going to show you how to properly network and go after the decision makers and leverage the playing field for each one of us. That's guys, gals, women and men, and children, and we're going to give you early access as possible. If you have a child that's 10, 11 years of age and they like money and like to learn about money, we're going to teach them at that level, and we're going to respect them at that level, and we're not going to teach them like they're little kids. Because a lot of kids are sharper than adults because their curiosity is boundless. And that's what it takes to be a winner, because you can find solutions for everything. Everything. So, Nick, this is your show. We're going to turn it over to you. You close it out and we get out of here, brother.
All right. Yep, that's right. Yep. So after I close you out with the closing, you know, with the closing, how we usually do, I'll just mention that we will. Well, I will be playing the Millionaire Money May video after I close out, and just wanted to let you know that May is almost out. You know, Monday is the last day of May, so if you haven't taken advantage of the Millionaire Money May special, get in on that. If you get in on that before the weekend is up, you will have access to the family finance course that DJ will be teaching live next week. You know, so I just wanted to mention that before the month is out, you know, just in case there's any last minute folks that want to take advantage of that.
You know what? Let me chime in, and this is only people that invested. This is not free. I'm going to do a live 3-hour full 18 module family finance 101. So all of you that got the course and you want to see it taught to you live, that I normally get paid thousands of dollars for, $2,500 an hour, plug in, get it now. It'll be worth 10 times what you invested in it. And you know what? If you do not get anything of value out of it, I will refund your money, because I have not went to an institution that we had to refund their money. So I don't think you'd be different. Prove me wrong and be the first person. Invest in yourself, and you'll have access to all the foundation and actually create wealth. You can't jump into $1 million deal and keep it if you don't have the foundation of consumer debt freedom, credit scores, you know, access to capital, because it won't stay. And if you think it will, you're fooling yourself. Okay? Back to you, Nick.
Right. Yep. And yeah, the registration link is in the description right now. So just go ahead in the description and click on that link. So the way we close out, we wish you a pom-pom lifestyle that has plenty of money, peace of mind, and we want you to come join us on the beaches of the World Club. And your beach may not be next to sand or water, but your beach is wherever you find your peace of mind, and your freedom. So our next program is on Sunday, so we'll see you on Sunday for Bet on Black, the women, the family, the legacy. So between then and now, take care and have a safe holiday weekend.
This is DJ the Money Coach. Thank you for celebrating our 1-year anniversary with us. Thank you for the emails, the videos, and the phone calls. Most importantly, congratulations for the hundreds of people who actually acquired the course. Now it's time to take it to the next level. That's right. Millionaire Money Made. I'm actually going to teach you live how to earn that 800 credit score through the Family Finance 101 course. I'm going to teach the live 3-hour course to you. That's right. After I do that, we're actually going to bring you 3 steps to success: business, real estate, and leverage the tax laws. And once we achieve that, we're going to show you how to earn with a little bit of investment in the market up to an 80% return, cash on cash return on your money. After we achieve that, we're going to show you how to earn with a minimum investment of $7,500, how to get you to $850 a month in passive income. On top of that, we're going to give you 2 live Zoom trainings with Leonard, 7-figure Forex trainer since 2007, Clarence and Tonia, 7-figure income earners through real estate, over 200 properties they own, and retired at the young age of 40 and 42. All you have to do is register now. Hit that link below, and you'll become part of the Millionaire Money Making May exclusively with Erica Williams in the Classic Climb, brought to you by DJ the Money Coach and the 7 Spheres of Money team.
Black Diamond, welcome here, Urban family. Just want to say thank you to you guys so much and DJ the Money Coach for offering incredible services. The webinar that you guys hosted last night was outstanding. So much so that I even bought a package during the webinar. I'm so excited for my future and to do the little lifestyle. Again, thank you guys so much. I'm super excited. I'll see you guys at the next weekend.